Alright guys, today I'll be ranking every coaster at Kennywood. Now there's 8 to go through here and I only got on 5 in my past visit in 2025, but I have ridden the other 3 before. It was a long time ago, but I remember them well enough to rank them fairly, I think. So with that being said, let's get right into the list. Coming in at number 8 is going to be Lil Phantom. This should be no surprise. It's a fun little kiddie coaster. I mean, I remember it having some okay laterals here and there, but it's just not going to compete with the adult coasters on this list. Coming in at number 7 is Racer. I would have liked to give this another shot on my past visit, but unfortunately it was closed, and it sounded like they were doing some work on it because it had been closed for a while. So I definitely wasn't too bummed to miss this one because it was the weakest Woody from what I can remember. It had a couple little airtime pops, but nothing really too stand out. The racing element was cool, and this was a Mobius loop, so it definitely wasn't 2 credits. I don't count it as 2. Yeah, this ride's fine, but the others are just better. Coming in at number 6 is Jackrabbit. I would have loved to put this one higher. It does have one really good moment, and I think you all know what that is. It's the second down of the double down. I sat in the very back row this trip, and I gotta say, it was pretty good, but I still think it's just strong floater. Because realistically, with just a seatbelt, it's just not going to be as strong as those Ultra Elite RMCs or even anything with ejector, period. The layout itself is fine. It's got some nice dips, gives you a little floater, not too strong a floater though. I like the terrain usage, but I do think there are 5 better coasters here. Coming in at number 5 is Exterminator. I personally really like my spinning mice, and this one is probably the second best I've done. It's a long ways away from Ragin' Cajun though, but this one's still pretty good. You get some decent spinning from what I remember, and also some good laterals, and this ride's especially fun in the dark. I just wish this thing had a way shorter line, cause it was over an hour pretty much all day my last visit, so unfortunately I didn't get to re-ride it, but I do remember it being pretty good. Now we're moving on to the top 4. These 4, I know a lot of people like to switch the order up here. To me, there's a clear top 3. I think number 4 is definitely number 4. But anyways, coming in at number 4 is Thunderbolt. It's a really good ride. I sat towards the front in row 2, and I got a really good ejector pop going into the lift hill. That was definitely the highlight of the ride. That iconic double helix is also really good. There's a couple little airtime pops scattered throughout there, not too strong of airtime, but you're also going to get some pretty strong laterals there. You also have a couple other airtime pops throughout the layout, and of course, just like Jackrabbit, the terrain usage on this is really good. So I definitely really like Thunderbolt, but I think the top 3 here is clearly stronger than Thunderbolt. Now, I had to make a tough decision here for number 3. I really wanted to put it higher because everyone says this is one of the best coasters in the world, but unfortunately, coming in at number 3 is Phantom's Revenge. I know, it is pretty low. It seems like the clear choice for number 1 in the park for most people, and I can sort of understand why, but also part of me definitely doesn't get some of the hype for this thing, especially compared to the top 2 here. A lot of people praise this ride because of the whole second half, but I really found there to be 2 really strong moments of ejector, those being the 2 airtime moments right after the turtle turn, as I like to call it. It's that slow turn around the turtle ride. But I gotta say, the rest of the second half gives decent airtime, but nothing that's truly out of this world. In fact, I'd say the second down of the double down was just floater, and the pop going into the brakes was just floater. I don't know, that's really weird. Maybe that was just me, but I know my dad also thought that too. And the first half doesn't really have airtime. It's got a little floater on the second drop, and you get strong floater on the pop going into the turtle turn. But this ride also showcases the speed pretty well in the first half. That's really what this ride does well besides those few airtime moments in the second half. It's a good ride to really feel the wind in your face, but unfortunately the airtime is a lot weaker towards the front, so you really don't get that as much if you sit towards the back, which is where you need to be to really experience the forces. It also doesn't have quite as strong of positives as some people said. It's a good ride. I mean, it's a borderline top 25 coaster for me, but I definitely think there's stronger coasters even in the same park. Now, coming in at number 2 is Skyrocket. This is the completely opposite end of Phantom's Revenge, where I think this is one of the most underrated coasters ever. It has weird pacing, yes. It doesn't really have too much going for it outside of the big four elements. I mean, I do think the airtime hills at the end actually give decent floater to flowjector at the end of the night. But besides that, it really doesn't do a whole lot. But the big four elements on this ride are some of the greatest elements ever designed, which is why it's so high in my rankings. The mid-course drop might be better than any first drop on any coaster. I don't know. I'm debating that or Maverick's first drop, but either way, I mean, I was in shock and awe from the strength of this mid-course drop. It felt illegal. I mean, especially if you have room, this drop is terrifying, and the seat slam after is even more insane. The 2.0G rules are reminiscent of inversions on Alpine Fury. You get ejector while getting laterals, especially on the first one because you have a good head of steam going into that. I don't think it's as strong as most of the inversions on Alpine Fury, but it's definitely very solid. I mean, still one of the best inversions of all time. And then the top hat is very weird because you get 2 bursts of ejector, and you have to sit in the back for this ride, mainly because of the mid-course drop in the top hat, because you still get good airtime going into it, and then you get an extremely strong ejector burst coming out of it. It is just one of the best top hats, probably the best top hat of any coaster. And that combined with those other 3 elite elements is really why Skyrocket is that high in my rankings. It is a top 20 coaster. Now coming in at number 1 is Steel Curtain. Despite it not having as insane of elements as Skyrocket, I even think that second hill after the turtle turn on Phantom is stronger than anything on Steel Curtain. Steel Curtain is just one of the most well-rounded coasters I've ever been on. It has pretty much everything. There's nothing really bad about it except for the seatbelts, but even then, they don't ruin the ride. The inversions are all incredible, especially towards the end, like the cutback and the stall. Those deliver such good laterals. The laterals on this ride are ridiculous. The sequencing's amazing. The pacing's amazing. It has really good airtime moments, really strong positives. It's a really long ride. I mean, it's just a really solid ride overall. There's a reason it's in my top 15. And it's also a very underrated coaster. So that is every coaster at Kennywood ranked. Let me know what you guys thought of this video down in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.